Hi, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the real world concept of ratios and proportions. Now, I say we're going to write ratios and solve proportions. So, since we got to solve proportions, the proportions are going to have equal signs, they're going to be equations. Now, we're going to use ratios and proportions in our lives if we go to the grocery store, if we have to buy in bulk. So, instead of buying one apple, maybe I buy a dozen apples, and sometimes buying in bulk is cheaper, and sometimes it's not. So we need to be aware of when it's a good deal and when it's not. So a ratio is a comparison of two quantities written with a colon in the middle, so A to B. So maybe we want to compare how many left-handed people in the class to how many right-handed people. Now let's take a random class where we have 4 lefties and 26 righties. The ratio of left to right would be 4 to 26. And the ratio of right-handed people to whole class would be there's 30 in the whole class, so 26 right-handed people to 30 in the whole class. Now, the more common way to write a ratio is as a fraction. So we're going to get in the habit of always writing it as a fraction. So we have 4 over 26 or 26 over 30. And if you want to simplify your fractions, you're allowed to do that as well. Now we're going to take ratios and compare them using a proportion. So proportions, when we set two ratios equal to each other, and most times we do this so we can solve for a missing quantity. So in this case, we're going to set up the proportion to find how much 5 shirts should cost if one shirt is $6.75. So what I know is it's $6.75 per one shirt, but I don't know how much it is per 5 shirts. Notice the money is on the same line, and then on the bottom in the denominator, you have quantities, so 1 shirt to 5 shirts. So the denominator should be the same units, and the numerator should be the same units. Now to do this, I use cross multiplication. I multiply diagonally across and set up a new equation, and then I have to solve for x. So 5 times 6.75 is 33.75, and then 1 times x is x. In this case, we don't have to do any more steps because x is isolated. Now I need to interpret this, and it says that 5 shirts cost $33.75, which is a pretty good deal for shirts. So this is how we use ratios and proportions to determine what the cost of buying in bulk is.